Okay, so if you've been paying attention and doing the step-by-step instructions in these videos, we should be right here at this point in time talking about the strategy. You should have an offer that you have refined and made more compelling. You should have a traffic strategy in how you're going to take that larger market formula and turn those not thinking about becoming buyers into shut up and take my money buyers as soon as humanly possible. Now let's talk about the strategy. So the ad strategy, the way that we are going to fill our business with hyper targeted people who are going to bang down our door, wanting our product, wanting our service. And this is the final piece of the jigsaw to mastering quite essentially customer acquisition. Let's just talk all about the strategy in regards to how we are going to fill our funnels, fill our business with these people. And that's a great segue into what is a funnel. Now, undoubtedly, you've heard Russell Brunson and other people mention this word funnel. You need a funnel. Your business needs a funnel. You do have a funnel. All a funnel means, and all a funnel really is a process by which you turn a prospect into a customer. And that funnel could be anything. It could be they go to an opt-in page, to a lead magnet, to an email sequence to then book a call and convert. That's technically a funnel. Your funnel could also be they click on a link or click on an ad, go to a webinar, then go to a sales page, then buy that product. That's also a funnel. Now, I personally do believe there is a fine line and a big distinction between a business and a funnel. And the reason I say that is because most entrepreneurs have a funnel. They don't have a business. They just have this crappy ad going to a crappy landing page, and they seem to have like maybe 1.2, 1.3 return of ad spend, and that's all their business is. It's not something that has big, hairy, and audacious offers. It's not something that has money back guarantees. It's not something that has prospects and customers raving about them. It's nothing like that. They just have this thing which sends them to like a crappy little ebook that earns them like a small little bit of cash flow, for instance. But we are going to be building a funnel. We're essentially going to be building a sales process, which is how you turn stone cold traffic into red hot, irrationally passionate customers and clients. That's essentially all a funnel is. That's how I like to describe it to clients. So before we really dive deeper, there's two things we need to establish here. Number one is that business and sales and marketing, they aren't the same. You need to know the difference between all three. Business, for example, is not marketing or sales. Marketing itself is not sales, and sales is not marketing either. They are all separate disciplines that hold each other's hands. Marketing, for instance, is the vehicle you use to drive people into your sales process. Sales is the process by which a prospect becomes a buyer, and your business as a whole is how you turn a buyer into a customer, take them on this hero's journey or this customer journey like we shared in the previous video, and turn them into a promoter, a brand advocate, sharing your brand, giving you free marketing, essentially. That's what your business does. Your business is how you build a relationship with your customer, with your prospect, with these visitors, these strangers, how you turn those people into customers, and how you give them such a compelling experience that they want to tell other people about you. And this is a very important distinction to make, because I see so many business owners think that, oh my God, these ads aren't working. It must be the media buyer's fault, or it must be the agency I've hired's fault, when the reality is it's their sales process's fault, or it's also the business's fault, or just their product or service isn't compelling enough to a wide market. And the way I want you to look at this is your funnel, which is essentially all three of these things combined. It's marketing, driving people into your sales process, converting those cold prospects into customers, and then your business itself turning those customers into brand advocates. Your funnel needs to be an F1 car. Now, you wouldn't have Lewis Hamilton in a Fiat 500, for instance, like a normal road car, and then tell him to compete against all these F1 cars and get him to win that race. You wouldn't do that, right? Because it would make absolutely zero sense. It's a race you would never win. But business itself is like that. Business itself is a very unforgiving race. You are racing against all these other hyper optimized sales funnels here, all these F1 cars that have got F1 rally drivers behind them, behind the wheel, going at full throttle, hail to leather, after these customers that are on the finish line. If you're trying to win this race in a crappy little road car, it doesn't matter who you have behind the wheel. You are hindered by the performance of that vehicle. You are hindered by the performance of your sales process and your business in and of itself. Maybe you don't have certain email automations in place. Maybe you don't have upsells and cross sells. Maybe you don't have like an affiliate or a reward scheme, for instance, or maybe you just don't have an offer which compels people, or a product which people want, or a service which is in high need. Maybe you don't have all of those things. Equally, though, if you don't have those things, you know, your marketer is essentially Lewis Hamilton in this case. They're the one sat behind the wheel driving the car. You know, you're not going to shout at them because, again, they can't sell these waterproof tea bags. You know, you're not going to shout at the media buyer for not being able to sell these blindfolded straight razor vasectomies. Who wants that? You know, it's your job to kind of look for that to see if there's actually somebody out there who really wants those things. So another example of this, just very quickly, would be, let's say, for instance, you own a restaurant, okay? And what you did was you went to like a TV agency, you wanted to run like a commercial, going out to like a broad audience, like in your local area, getting people to come into your restaurant, okay? And you worked out with this TV marketing agency, for instance, like who are going to run these advertisements on televisions. You work out with them what would be a compelling offer. And you say to them, hey, look, if you come to our restaurant, you will be able to have dinner on us, okay? We will pay for your dinner, you just cover drinks. That's essentially the offer you do, okay? Now, let's say, for instance, that ad reaches 150, that is a 5, by the way, 150,000 people in that area, okay? And they all come into your restaurant. That's the job of marketing. Marketing has done that. Marketing has brought these 150,000 people into your restaurant to try out your food, try out your menu, and see if it's an experience they themselves would like to have as part of their just everyday life. Now, let's say, for instance, that they enter this restaurant here, they enter your restaurant, and they are greeted by a member of staff over here, let's call him Dave, who doesn't want to be there. He complains all the time, he's rude to customers, he's looking at the door going, oh, what's happening here? Why have we got like 150,000 people coming into our restaurant? It's a Friday night. We never have this many people here. This is such an inconvenience to me. Let's say, for instance, he's being very snarky and rude to the customers. They're asking what the soup of the day is, and he's like, can you not read? It's on the whiteboard right there. Let's say out of these 150,000 people who go into your restaurant, 50 convert. Who is at fault here for these people all not signing up? Would you go back to the TV agency, for instance, and say the ad you ran clearly didn't work because only 50 people signed up? Or would you look at your sales process, which is everything from the experience somebody has when they walk through the door, the items on the menu, and the experience they have from your staff, and see the problem as there? What has failed this business in this example? The sales process right here. You can't complain about the marketing because it's done its job. This is why we need to establish this clear line in the sand between sales and marketing, because they aren't the same. You aren't going to win an F1 race sat behind a road car. It's just not going to happen. Now, equally, what a lot of people also do is they cross lines and they overcomplicate their sales process, or they overcomplicate their business. They have an ad running to a webinar, and they also have another ad running to like a Shopify page, and they have another ad running to a lead magnet which runs to the webinar, and they just cross all these paths. You must not divert from a simple straight line. Like you might have heard the Wolf of Wall Street himself, Jordan Belfort, say that getting a sale is a straight line, and it literally is. You don't need 4 or 5 different sales processes to convert somebody into being a customer. You need to focus your efforts behind making one funnel convert like crazy, optimizing everything from the opt-in page to the landing page, to the sales page, to the checkout page, to the email automation sequence that happens once that person's opt-in. Testing everything from that end being the subject line, the body copy, the call to action. You need to optimize every single part of your funnel to make sure it works as it's intended to. You don't need 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different sales processes to try and get a customer. You don't need 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different funnels. You just don't need it. This is why you don't really see many positive results. Maybe you've got, again, one ad running to a lead magnet. You've got another ad running to a webinar. You've got another ad running to this, and you're spreading your marketing budget wafer thin to the point where you can't see any conversions. You're seeing massive ad costs. You're looking at your conversions like, dude, like I've got these 15 different ad campaigns running and I'm not seeing any customers because you're spreading your budget wafer thin to all these different sales processes. You know, what would you rather do? Would you rather put $5 a day behind 5 different sales processes, for instance, or put $25 a day behind one? And fully check how that one goes. Lean into the AI of Google and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Lean into that so you can actually get some good data and good numbers. If you spread it out across 5, you're never going to see anything. You're just going to burn money. You don't want to do that. Equally, what a lot of people do is they don't even have a sales process, or they don't even have a funnel, for instance, and then they wonder why their marketing efforts are just blowing up in smoke. They wonder why they're posting all this social media content and not seeing any conversions back. You know, they've read Gary Vee's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, and they keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. But when they ask for a right hook, or they give that right hook, the crickets, they get nothing, because you don't have a compelling sales process. You don't have something there that's going to take and capitalize the attention that you're generating through your marketing and advertising. So what you need to do here is, whether you're doing organic or even ads, you need to map out a sales process and lean into that sales process, let that do all the work, and finely tune it and optimize as time goes on. Then your focus can then be on getting more people into that sales process, see where all the leaks in that proverbial bucket are, because you've got a strong enough ad budget behind it to give it a good fair test. Again, you're not going to spread out $5 across 5 different ad sets or 5 different campaigns, 5 different funnels. You're going to put it all behind one to give it a fair shake. That's how you find a process that works. And once you've done that, you do more of that. And I can't really stress how important this is. And I know I might sound like I'm beating a dead horse here or just rabbiting on about stuff. I know you're just very desperate for me to go on about the strategy. But again, this is a large part as to why 90% of Facebook ads or just ad campaigns in general fail. Because people go into marketing and advertising without knowing what their sales process is, how it works, or who they're marketing to. And if you don't know that, your chances of making it work are wafer thin. They're very slim. You won't do that because your campaign must have purpose. How can you convert somebody if you don't know the journey you plan on sending them on to buy your product? All a funnel basically does, like I said, is it is a process by which you turn a prospect into a customer. How can you turn that prospect into a customer if you don't know what the purpose of your marketing or advertising is? It's not just to make a sale. You have to take them on a journey, especially if you're trying to scale your business. The only way you can scale that is through running your ads and converting cold people at the top here in this awareness stage, converting those people, getting them to whip out their credit card and buy. You know, you can't build a business just on bottom of funnel people. It's impossible. You can't do that. Which is why your campaign must have purpose. You need to take people on this journey by mapping out your sales process. Take them from pain to benefit. Look what I've been doing in these video trainings with you so far. I'm taking you from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, from sadness to happiness, from a point of low sales, low leads, to more security, more money, more freedom. You know, like more time with your family, being a needle mover in your business. That's what you need to be doing with your marketing and advertising, your sales process. And you need to utilize this to create this evergreen valuable asset that generates you leads on demand in your sleep. So we need these deployable systems, these email automations, these lead magnets, these lead flows, for instance, that are going to draw in leads that we can convert in our sleep without even looking at it. That's where a lot of the ROI lies. That's what we need to be building here. If you can get a really good, fully optimized email automation sequence in your business, that's guaranteed 20, 30% revenue every single month, guaranteed, especially when it's finely tuned. We can help with that as well if it's something that you're interested in. And the reason why I'm harping on about this sales process and this whole funnel thing is because any marketing you do is going to be essential. Because if you don't have a way to monetize the attention that you're generating in some way, it's going to waste. What's the point in doing it? You're leaving a lot of money on the table, and you're just wasting your time and wasting your energy, which is why you need to nail this first. You need to build this sales process, because when the branding we do works, which it will work, because I'm going to talk to you step by step how to make it work, you'll get more traffic into your business and more attention than ever before. And if you don't find a way to monetize that attention by converting 10% of traffic into an email lead who you can then use your email automation sequences, for instance, and create these email marketing campaigns to convert them like crazy, there's no reason to do this. There's absolutely no reason to do it, which is why we need to build this, because you don't want to be marketing for no reason. There has to be an intent behind it. It has to be a purpose, and that purpose needs to be behind monetizing the attention that you are generating. Now, your sales process could be absolutely anything. I spoke about this earlier. It could be an ad to a lead form to a phone call. It could be an ad to a lead form to an application form to a phone call. That's what ours is at Greyhound. It could be an ad to a webinar to an application form, then a follow-up, like, making sure that those people who've filled in the application form aren't weird and they actually are capable of buying your thing, and then taking them over to a sales call where you can convert them. Your sales process could literally be anything. All that's important here is that we build it. Now, I do want to give a damaging omission here at this point in these trainings, because I feel it's important. Our results aren't typical, and the examples that I'll share with you and show you during our time together, they are just that. They're there for example purposes. We get leads and sales for our customers, and we get them very quickly whilst building a recognized and loved brand. Now, I personally have no idea how many customers or leads you'll get each and every single month from what you're about to execute, or hopefully execute, from these videos you've been watching thus far and coming up further in time. Your success is entirely up to you, your work ethic, and your ability to actually sell. All I'm doing here is giving you the information. It's up to you to actually execute that information and do it properly. In order for this to work for you, I need a few promises from you. So for instance, when we send you leads, will you 100% commit to following up with them right away? Whether that's a phone call or, following up with them via email. Will you 100% commit to following up with them? Because what's the point in creating these lead magnets or creating these webinars if you're just going to amass these emails and do absolutely nothing with them? There's absolutely zero point in doing that. No point at all. Also, will you commit to building an actual relationship with these people? Because what a lot of businesses do is they treat customers as just numbers on a spreadsheet, when they're more than that. These are living, breathing human beings at the other end of the phone, the tablet, the laptop. The living, breathing people have legitimate hope, dreams, and desires. They have legitimate pains and worries and anxieties and things that genuinely keep them up at night. These are real life human beings and real lives we're playing with here and that we're impacting here with our products and services. So you need to commit to building a relationship with them. Don't just con somebody into paying £6 for your ebook and then just run away like don't do a rug pull like most people are doing with NFT projects at the moment. You don't want to do that. That's not how you build a business. An entrepreneur is in the relationship building business. And you do that through providing great products, great services, giving them a great experience of being a customer of yours, and then multiplying that at scale. So that's what you need to do here. Commit to following up with the leads that you get and the sales that you get, and also commit to building a relationship with them so that they don't go to your competition, because they will. And that should keep you up at night. If you aren't going out of your way to make sure that your customers love and admire you, your competition will make sure that they do that for them instead. And then that's taking your market share, your revenue. We don't want that. So here's how this works. Here's what we're going to be talking about in the next part of this. We're going to get straight into the strategy. All right. I don't know why I said that like an Australian, but I did. So advertising, in my opinion, works on a few core principles. And these principles are: it's pretty hard to convince total strangers to become clients or customers. It is doable, and we are going to try. Hence why we spoke about this larger market equation. There's only 3% of people who will ever become a customer of yours in that point of time that you meet them. What we're going to do, though, is we are going to try and convert those people, but equally, we're just going to go after that larger market equation. So once people feel like they know you, like you, and trust you, it's less hard to get those people as clients and as customers. And a great way to do that and build that know, like, and trust is by giving them content that helps them. That content can be either a video or it can be a piece of pillar content like a long Facebook Live that you start to run traffic behind. It could also be a lead magnet, something like a checklist, or a 12-step evening skincare routine to eliminate dark spots and wrinkles, something like that. That's a great way to build know, like, and trust by giving them content that demonstrates you can help them by actually helping them. These videos you've been watching is a great example of that. Hopefully, by you being here, I've built a lot of know, like, and trust with you. Now, video content is what I recommend you do mostly because it's super cheap to make. Like, I am literally doing this on my Mac laptop with a cruddy little $20 mic and just recording this through Zoom, through screen share. That's all I'm doing. So it's super cheap and easy to make. It's also consumed a lot on social media. You know, like you've got YouTube Shorts, you've got TikToks, you've got Instagram Reels, you've also got Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives, IG Lives. Video is consumed an awful lot, and people love video because it's sticky. You remember video, which is why I highly recommend you do things like video ads instead of just normal image ads. You can still do image ads, but I highly recommend you do video. And video content should always be about three things, essentially: your customer, what they want, and also how they can get it. So ultimately, what you're going to be doing is either creating video content or just creating pieces of content like free reports, for instance, that talk about your customer, what they want, and how they can get it. That also builds this know, like, and trust factor with them. That's essentially what we're going to be doing here, because again, we want to target that larger market as well as ramp up their eagerness to buy as fast as humanly possible. We need to do that at scale. And the best way to do that is to target those people and then build systems and processes in place that allow us to convert those people later on down the line. Now, your business itself is built up of 4 pillars. Top is attention. Everything that you do is built on attention. How do you expect people to buy from you if they don't know you exist? So it all starts with attention. You then need to turn that attention into a lead. You then need to make an offer to those leads to become a customer or a client of yours, and then you need to follow up with them. You need to follow up with those leads who don't become customers or clients, and you need to follow up with those customers and clients to get them to buy more of your products, buy more of your services, to refer friends, to bring people into your business, free marketing, referrals, all of that jazz, okay? They are the 4 pillars of your business. Every business on planet Earth is built on these 4 pillars. And we're going to be breaking these down step by step now. So those 4 pillars of your business are equally part of the funnel. So top of funnel, you've got attention, because you need to generate attention. These are cold prospects. They have no idea who you are. Now, your job top of funnel is to not only get attention, but to also try and get a lead. So if you're sending people directly to your Shopify store, for instance, make sure top of funnel, they go to the homepage and you have a pop-up that's exit intent that gives them like a discount or something like that. And make sure that that itself is converting minimum 10% of people. You want to convert at least 10% of the traffic you send to that page. Warm audience is where you retarget those people who have, engaged with your Facebook ad, engaged with your Instagram ad, engage in some way with the brand, either by leaving a comment, liking it, ha-haing it, wowing it, whatever it may be. You retarget those people with offers to actually become a customer of yours. And then all you do at the bottom is you follow up with those people who don't become customers and take you up on those offers. And you also follow up with customers who've just bought from you by giving them more stuff. So for instance, you might do what we call an existing customer retention campaign, which is essentially retargeting purchasers who've just purchased recently and saying, hey, look, thank you for being a customer. Here's 15% off your next order. Click below to use it straight away, for instance. That's what you'll probably do there. So top of funnel, cold audiences. You are mainly going to be using here lookalike audiences and also core audiences. So these people here are cold as steel prospects. They've never heard of you. And what we want to do here is we want to introduce ourselves to them in the best possible way, either by testimonials, for instance, or by content, again, demonstrating we can help people by actually helping them. And we'll also run some direct response type ads top of funnel here as well, because they will be 3% of people there who are ready, willing, and able to buy at that point in time. Here, what we're going to be doing is testing multiple audiences and lookalike audiences, and those best individual audiences become a core audience. Middle of funnel. This is what we call our kill box, our digital newspaper, sphere of influence, whatever you want to call it. This is your retargeting list. This is your invisible list. These are people who have engaged with the brand. They've liked a Facebook ad. They've left a comment. They have clicked a link. They have engaged in some way by watching 25% of the video or 100% of the video. These are warm prospects who have engaged with the brand and are starting to know, like, and trust you. You're starting to build that with them. This is one of the safest places to test new offers, content, and ads, because these are people who have raised their hand essentially. If you do a piece of video content, top of funnel, for instance, which says, hey, look, if you are wanting to know a really cool skincare routine to eliminate dark spots and wrinkles, watch this video. You can safely assume that the people watching that video are people interested in removing dark spots and wrinkles. So when it comes to you retargeting them here, you can safely assume, just because they've behaviorally indicated who they are, that they are your right people to retarget. Now, like I said, this is one of the safest places to test new offers, because these are people who have already raised their hand top of funnel. And then our hot part of our funnel here, this is just retargeting people who have behaviorally indicated their interest. And what we're going to be doing here is showing them exclusive content as well as bottom of funnel conversion ads to get them to convert. So a prime example of this would be, say, for instance, you ran a 55-minute Facebook Live, you use that as a piece of top of funnel content, and at 54 minutes, 29 seconds, so the final part of that video, you showed your product or you pitched your service. You'd want to segment that audience to being bottom of funnel because they've stuck around and they've seen the offer. So here is where you would retarget them. They'd be part of this audience right here. They've viewed 95% of the video. They've seen the call to action. You would also put here, for instance, bottom of funnel catalog ads for products that people have just clicked on but didn't buy. And bottom of funnel, you're going to be showing people testimonial ads, again, as exclusive content. So let's look at these 4 pillars one by one. So number 1, attention. That is the peak of your iceberg, the first thing people will see as part of your business. We're going to be sending traffic, and the best way to do that is via ads. So you're going to be sending traffic via Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, organic, whatever it is. You just need to create an ad that's going to command people's attention. So you've got some nice piece of copy, a nice, good creative, and a strong, compelling headline that's going to get people to click on the ad. That's all you're doing at the top of funnel stage here. You're just getting people to get more information, and they get more information by clicking the link and going to the sales page or the home page, for instance. That's all you're doing there. Step 2, we're going to be turning that attention that we've got here into a lead and making them an offer. Now, obviously, you make people offers to become leads by saying, hey, look, input your email address here and I'll send you this 12-step report. But we're going to be sending people to these compelling lead magnets. So maybe, again, you're an e-com brand, you might send them to something like this. Biggest sale of the year, 40% off site-wide. Maybe you send them to this cool little roulette wheel where you put things on here like free t-shirt, 50% off, free shipping, buy 2, get 1 free, something like that. Something that just invites them to hand over their email address. Maybe you do something here, for instance, like a free plus shipping offer where you go, hey, look, we'll give you this $200 watch for free, just cover shipping. Something like that. What we're doing here, again, is the minimum thing we are getting here is an email address, because that allows us to take our relationship off the platform of which we got them. So if you can remember that behavior model, like we're getting people to subscribe, equally allows us to control our media and control the direction our business goes, because we own that email address technically. So if Facebook decides to pull the plug, if Google decides to do like a penguin slap, or whatever happens, TikTok gets banned in Western countries and just gets isolated to China, for instance, or whatever, what this allows us to do by having this email address at least is it allows us to still convert somebody and to still have a business. That's one of the most important things here. So again, here's some other cool examples like free reports, a free beginner's guide to Bitcoin. This was one of ours, how e-commerce and info product businesses can explode sales leads and ROAS by 233% without spending more on ads, just by making these 11 small individual changes. Then at the bottom of your funnel here, you've got your offer as well as your follow-up. So they've seen your ad, they've opted in. Well, now what? How are you going to turn that lead into an actual customer? So you need to deliver to them emails that convert them, for one, that's the follow-up part. And you need to present them an offer that's going to compel them to actually hand over their wallet, to hand over their credit card and to get it out and purchase your thing. So you want to make sure that you're emailing people at least 3 times a week. And then it comes down to the follow-up, because the magic is in that follow-up. You need to follow up with every single lead and every single sale that comes through. Otherwise, they will go to your competition. Like I said earlier, your competitors will treat them better than what you possibly could. That itself should make your bum all wobble, and it should make you feel a bit queasy and quake in your boots a little bit, knowing that there's somebody out there who wants your customer. Knowing that, what can you do to make sure your customer stays with you? That's all part of this process here. And that's literally it. That's your business in a nutshell. That is the strategy part of it. The 4 pillars of your business: attention, lead, offer, follow-up, making sure we have got each and every single part of that optimized to an absolute T. Now, your only job here as an entrepreneur is to, when you really think about it, create a great product or service and offer. That's literally it. Create a great sales process, plug ads into it, and then diagnose and solve it. That's all your job is as an entrepreneur. This landing page needs tweaking. This webinar intro needs changing. My email follow-up needs tweaking. That's all you're doing in the diagnosing and solving stage. But they are your 4 only jobs. That's literally it as the entrepreneur. And that's it. Offer, traffic, and strategy all completed. Therefore, customer acquisition has been done. We no longer need to talk about customer acquisition. Now, in the next video, we are going to be chatting more about how to structure your Facebook ads and go a little bit more granular with the detail from what we kind of spoke about here loosely in these 3 little funnel steps. So I will see you in that video next.